jadi macam ni? Pasal jantan bila kau selalu nak tinggalkan aku tengok. Pasal orang kita guna tegur tangga tinggalkan aku. Mati kau tengok.
Assalamualaikum Arifah.
Waalaikumsalam.
What are you doing?
I read a news about a man killed his wife because of jealousy.
Astaghfirullah. I think I've heard about this situation.
Is this what we call Othello syndrome?
Yes.
According to Wikipedia, Othello syndrome refers to morbid jealousy. It's a rare delusional disorder with high-risk implications. Othello syndrome, also known as psychological disorder, in which a person had thought that their spouse is being unfaithful without having any real proof, along with socially acceptable and abnormal behavior related to these thoughts. Our group chose this topic because this is one of the serious issues, as there were many cases recorded and some of it led to death, but many people are not aware of it.
Unlike other delusional disorders, people who suffer from this disorder have a strong association with stalking, cyberstalking, sabotage, or even violence. It can be found in the context of schizophrenia and delusional disorder such as bipolar disorder, but is also associated with alcoholism and sexual dysfunction and has been reported after neurological illness. Jealousy is a natural emotion which, if channeled correctly, can inspire us to get past what bothers us and put our best foot forward. But how do we cope if it takes you over? Recently, we made an online survey about this awareness of people about this syndrome. So, we found that 74% of our respondents didn't even know about this syndrome. So, let us get to know more about this syndrome.
Othello syndrome is actually a symptom, okay? It is not a medical diagnosis. Othello 2 is basically taken from Shakespeare's novel, whereby in the writing, the character Othello basically murdered his wife because he suspected that she has been unfaithful towards him. In the psychiatry point of view, okay, basically Othello syndrome is what you call delusion of jealousy. Okay, Othello syndrome. Okay, when you say it's delusion, okay, it is a false fixed belief. Okay, that is not in keeping with a person's social, cultural, and also educational background. And despite there is no evidence to support the belief, okay, the person still is very fixed that the spouse, either the husband, the wife, or the partner, is being unfaithful to them.
According to Dr. Noli, the sign of Othello syndrome, usually, patients started having this belief and think that the spouse is being unfaithful to them. This may lead to certain behaviors, for example, confirmatory behavior, which refer to the habit of checking spouse's phone, go through the messages, calls, stalking the spouse's activities, and extreme extent, some of them will have violence tendency towards the spouse. Some of them also may become aggressive and physically or emotionally abuse the spouse.
Okay, Othello syndrome, okay, it doesn't have a specific stages, but it can come in the form of delusion, okay, that is the very extreme. It can come in the form of obsession, and the other one is what you call overvalued ideas. It depends on the diagnosis of the patient. Some patients who has got Othello syndrome, okay, they are at risk for suicide. Okay, especially when there are a lot of violence involved, okay, in the relationship, okay, right, and the risk to others, that means usually it involves the spouse lah. Okay, usually they will be physically or emotionally abusive towards the spouse, okay, and the third is, again, like I mentioned earlier, is the confirmatory behavior. Fourth is the risk to the children if they have any children, okay, because sometimes a person with Othello syndrome, when they have spouse, okay, it can be an abusive relationship, okay, so it will affect the children emotionally.
Basically, the best way to approach treatment depends on the symptoms that are observed in the individual. There are two ways that we can do, which is prevention from illicit substances, and the second one is early detection and intervention from family members. From the psychiatrist's perspective, the first thing they do is risk assessment. If the person is having delusional disorder, the first thing that they do is through medication that familiar with antipsychotic medication. At the same time, they do non-pharmacological intervention, which is the process of educate the family members and the spouse. Treatment is basically depends on how long the symptoms is. The longer the duration of untreated symptoms, then the prognosis will become poorer. This will result the longer treatment process will be.
In conclusion, we know that othello syndrome is a serious symptom that must be taken care of. A lot of people out there are still not aware about this morbid jealousy, and maybe certain of their victims are struggling from physical bullying. Therefore, do care about your spouse and family members before a lot of circumstances will affect the relationship. Prevent is better than cure. That's all from us. Thank you.